Man, team keep it clean. Today just keep getting better and better, man. Obviously the Davian Clowney news that came out yesterday. We're gonna talk about Broderick Washington getting his deal. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But today the Ravens get their guy back officially. Officially. Rashod Bateman has been activated off the physically unable to perform list. That means he passed his physical and he will be practicing in full. Well, they're gonna take it easy with him, but Rashod Bateman is back. See, this is what I was talking about, man. This is why we just gotta be patient. We gotta be patient. As Ravens fans, as just fans, not even just as fans, just as people, we can be very, very impatient, but it's important to always exercise patience. But anyway, with Rashod Bateman, he is back now. He is back. And you see, one of the best parts about Rashod Bateman being back is we've been hearing a lot about the Ravens wide receivers already. Well, we've been hearing a lot about Odell Beckham Jr., especially yesterday. They said he was showing out like crazy. We've been hearing about Nelson Aguilar, especially over this whole training camp and mini camp and all that. He's been showing out like crazy. But, man, we ain't really been hearing about Devin Duvernay like that. Wonder what's going on with him or Prochet or some of the other guys. But anyway, so we've been here. Oh, Zay Flowers. How forget about Zay Flowers? We've been hearing about Zay Flowers literally from jump. And I'm sure some of y'all got the same notification that I got on my phone like about an hour ago from ESPN saying Zay Flowers could be Rookie of the Year. Now, I don't really get into all that. I don't really like care for all those like reports or whatever. But if he gets it, great. If he doesn't, okay, cool. But I'm excited for what the Ravens have. But to be hearing about all the receivers that the Ravens added, because remember, those are the three that the Ravens, they signed Odell Beckham Jr., they signed Nelson Aguilar, and they drafted Zay Flowers. But then to get the guy back, who we got high hopes for. I know I still do. I definitely still got high hopes for Rashod Bateman. I know a lot of Ravens fans have given up on Rashod Bateman. A lot of Ravens fans have moved on from Rashod Bateman. Well, at least they say they did. I know they probably didn't really. They probably just talking out of emotion, talking out of frustration and whatnot because he had been dealing with the injury. But this is good. This is really like, no, excuse me. I take that back. This is great. This is great because this is your first round draft pick from a couple of years ago. This is somebody who showed you the potential throughout the past couple of years. This is somebody who's in such a pivotal season for himself because after this season, like Ravens gotta make the decision on him and Adafe Away. We've been talking about Adafe Away though, but fifth year option, whether they pick it up or not. And that's not the end all be all, because just because they pick up the fifth year option doesn't mean he's going to stay. And if they decline the fifth year option, it doesn't mean he's going to leave. So it's not the end all be all when it comes to the fifth year option. But this is a big year for Rashod Bateman because he has a lot of help alongside him. And if he can really put it together, like I expect him to, like as long as he stays healthy, Rashod Bateman going to be straight, man. Rashod Bateman going to be good to go, man. As long as he stays, and again, same thing we've been saying, health is wealth. That's the only, to me, that's the biggest obstacle that could be in the Ravens' way is health. It really is. It's health. But getting him back is important, and I appreciate the Ravens, and this is something that we talked about too, especially this year and definitely last year too. But I appreciate the Ravens being extra cautious with their guys. It's very important that they did this because if, and I get it. Again, we're all impatient. We can be very impatient a lot of times. So when we lose something, then we want it back like ASAP. And coaching staff, they could feel like if they lost a player and that player got a chance to come back, no, we need to get them back ASAP. And you do, but at the same time, you got to do it the right way. There have been times in the past where the Ravens, they haven't done it the right way. They've rushed guys back before they were fully healthy. They've brought guys back. Guys have returned before they are fully ready to go. And they've suffered in the long run because of that. So when that happens, it's unfortunate because stuff like that can really change careers in a bad way. It can really alter stuff for the players in a negative way. Because if you ain't ready to come back and you're out there on the field, and we know football players, they hurt all the time. And they always talk about it like, when you go from point A, like beginning of the season to the end of the season, you are never fully healthy. You're never completely healthy, ever. Because you get banged up, you get hit every week, you're hurting, you got ailments, you're in pain, all that stuff. So we get that and respect it. But sometimes some situations can be made a little bit worse if guys are like just really, really not healthy, and they get brought back a little bit too soon. So with Rashod Bateman, I'm really excited for him this year, man. Really excited for him this year because it's a big opportunity right in front of him. It's a huge opportunity right in front of him. And like I've been saying this off season, I still do think Rashod Bateman is going to be the number one guy, the number one receiver. Obviously, Mark Andrews, could he still end up being the number one target? He could. He could. We'll see. But as far as receivers, I think Rashod Bateman will be the number one guy. And again, we got options. Like, Ravens got options. And just even if you go based off of last year, we can talk about last couple of, but just go based off of last year alone and think about the options that Ravens had last year. Well, the options. Oh no, the options. I don't want to disrespect nobody. But look at last year versus this year. Last year it was Rashod Bateman. It was Devin Duvernay. It was Prochet. It was Tylen Wallace. It was Demarcus Robinson. Later on in the season, it was Deshaun Jackson after he talked about them on the podcast. Then it was Sammy Watkins. Now, that was options last year, but then you look at this year. It's Odell Beckham Jr. And a lot of people, which I can understand, a lot of people like Odell Beckham Jr. He didn't even play last year. He wasn't even healthy last year. What's Odell Beckham Jr. going to do for the Ravens? But then you look at him in practice and stuff. You look at him in the training camp, and it's looking like, he's healthy. He's healthy. Now, we had a little scared the other day. They said Odell Beckham Jr. made a catch, and then he stopped practicing for the rest of the day. So I know a lot of people were worried. Even though John Harbaugh was like, no, he was on a rep count. He was on a pitch count. So we just took him off. Even though I think they were just being like, I think they were just being extra cautious. This is just my opinion. I don't think he was on no pitch count. I think they got a little scared, and they were like, all right, Odell, that's enough. You getting off the field. But he returned to practice the next day, and he was out there killing it. So this year's options, Odell Beckham Jr. and looking like a healthy Odell Beckham Jr. Rashod Bateman back. Nelson Aguilar, who been so far so good. We know what his track record has been before in years past. But recently, and we went over this when the Ravens first signed Nelson Aguilar, the drops have went way down over the past couple of years. Now the production has went down as well, but the drops have went way down. And it's like like a law of averages or something. Because of course, if a receiver's getting more targets, they're getting more yards, they're getting more opportunities, it would be expected that they get more drops. But like I always say, hey, drops are gonna happen. They happen. It is what it is. But as long as you're making more plays than you're missing, it's okay with me. And yeah, just showing up in them big moments too. But again, back to the options. So a healthy Odell Beckham Jr., Rashod Bateman, Nelson Aguilar, Zay Flowers, Devin Duvernay, with a less pressure Devin Duvernay. Like I said, but we ain't really been hearing too much about him. So it's a little bit concerning because and let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if y'all heard something. I don't recall hearing nothing, like nothing at all on Devin Duvernay this off season. Nothing. But again, let me know if I'm wrong because I miss stuff all the time. And maybe y'all have saw something, especially y'all that went out to like the training camps and whatnot and the practices. Maybe y'all saw something that I just haven't seen or haven't heard of. So y'all please let me know. But this is good news though, man. This is really good news. So shout out to Rashod Bateman. I'm glad that he is no longer out. Love y'all.